Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. So in February, there was a female wrestler, just 16, who said that she was assaulted during a match. As you can imagine, this was deeply disturbing to her. It happened to her in front of everybody during the match, and you can see the shocked expression on her face as the match progresses. Then it ended abruptly. There was inappropriate touching between the legs. Then she found out that the person she was wrestling was male. Yet again, we have a female athlete being put in harm's way, being violated and not even being given the option of consenting or not, because the sporting body didn't even tell her that this person is male. When she thought that this person was a woman, she was shocked and disgusted. And as is always the case, the male athlete who claims to identify as a woman seems to be the priority. His feelings are prioritized over the safety and well-being of the female athletes. They will rather endanger women than tell a man that he's a man and he should not be competing in the women's category. So no surprises, this happened in Washington State. Kallie Keeler was 15 at the time. She is a sophomore at Rogers High School in Puyallup. The match ended abruptly because she allowed her opponent to win. She said, "I just wanted the match to be over." Following the match, a coach from another school approached her and told her she had been wrestling a biological male. 2 days after the match, Keeler's parents emailed coaches at Rogers High School demanding information about how the incident would be addressed. "This is a huge issue and something that is 100% not okay," her mother wrote. She added that she was particularly upset because the opponent had been a biological male who identifies as female. "Where do we go from here?" And Kallie's coach said, "I most certainly would not put Kallie on the mat if I thought she was competing with a male. I will investigate this and look to see if we have a video on our end. I will touch base with you either this afternoon or tomorrow morning after I do my due diligence." The family said that they didn't receive a follow-up. The incident wasn't even reported to the police for 2 months. The school district did nothing. It's only when members of the press began to contact them that it was suddenly reported. And in Washington State, it is mandatory to report these incidents, regardless of whether they believe it's substantiated or not. HeCheated.org wrote the following about the incident. "Wrestling is one sport where I don't agree that girls should be allowed to join boys' teams, even if they are putting themselves at a disadvantage. Grappling is incredibly physical, involves touching in many places, and bodies can be put in positions that might feel very uncomfortable if one is forced into them by the opposite sex. No boys or girls should be put in the position where they have to put up with that sort of discomfort or be punished by asserting their boundaries and accepting a loss. In this case, we have a boy wrestling in a girls' division. It is essentially SA, sanctioned by the school. This is unacceptable." And now a lawsuit has been filed, and rightly so.
A female high school wrestler is suing the state and the Puyallup School District after she claims that she was assaulted by another student during a match. The alleged incident happened in December during a wrestling match. This one, the 15-year-old girl who is a student at Rogers High School says that a student from Emerald Ridge, who is a transgender athlete, sexually assaulted her during a competition. The Pierce County Sheriff's Office investigated the case, but prosecutors declined to file criminal charges. The new civil lawsuit claims the school district did not report the assault for nearly 2 months. The school district has declined to comment.
So Pierce County prosecutors declined to file criminal charges. But I'm so glad that Kallie Keeler and those supporting her are not backing down. And now a civil lawsuit has been filed. It's very disappointing to hear that they decided not to file criminal charges. The lawsuit names the Washington Interscholastic Activities Association, Office of Superintendent of Public Instruction, and Superintendent of Public Instruction, Chris Riekdal, and the Puyallup School District and District Title IX Coordinator, Dr. Gordon Brobby, Rogers High School Principal, Jason Smith, and Emerald Ridge High School Coach, John Morrison. These are a lot of people and entities involved in allowing this woman to be put in harm's way. all because of gender ideology, all to appease the delusion of a male athlete who claims to identify as a woman. All of these parties were involved, and not one of them thought about her safety and had her unsuspectingly grappling with a male athlete. So a jury trial is demanded in the lawsuit, which was filed by the Alliance Defending Freedom on behalf of Kallie Keeler and her mother, Stephanie Brown. The Alliance is a Christian legal advocacy non-profit. So the lawsuit states that on December 6, 2025, Keeler from Rogers High School unknowingly wrestled a transgender athlete during her tournament as a sophomore, the Lady Jag kickoff at Emerald Ridge High School. The alleged assault occurred in the fifth and final match while wrestling for third place, according to the lawsuit. Wanting the assault to end, Keeler began trying to give up and tried to lose the match. The lawsuit states Keeler planned to report the assault before she knew her opponent was transgender. Even while she believed this person was female, she knew she had been violated. She believed that the actions of this person were absolutely outside of what is required for wrestling, that this was a violation, while she still thought the person was female. Can you imagine how she felt knowing that this person is actually male? Compounding her fear, compounding her distress over this situation. Absolutely terrifying that she was put in this situation to begin with by the adults in the room who are supposed to be looking out for her well-being, who are supposed to be looking out for her safety when she is competing in sports, but not offending people who believe men can be women is more important to them, apparently. So the video was reviewed on January 30, and a criminal investigation included interviews with the alleged victim and her mother, as well as a video of the alleged assault. The sheriff's office referred a RAPE charge to the prosecutor's office. And on June 5, the Pierce County prosecutor's office declined to file criminal charges in the case because, quote, "It's clear that any potential charges could not be proven beyond a reasonable doubt." So that's what they believed, so they decided not to file criminal charges. And I guess, yes, in wrestling, there are people who are going to say that this happens. And, you know, this person was relatively new to wrestling. So it's possible that they could explain it away using those points. But there were also wrestling experts who said that no, this is not something that is done accidentally, even for a novice wrestler. But what I think is going to be obvious for the civil case, and where they don't have a leg to stand on, is that Kallie was not informed that this person is male. She wasn't even given the option to pull out based on that fact. She wasn't even given the option. No common courtesy was extended towards this female athlete, and I believe there was absolutely no regard for her safety. Pretending that a boy is a girl was more important. Going along with the delusion was more important for all the parties involved. And what's infuriating to me is the prosecutor's office actually cited a basketball case where it was said that a person who willingly participates in sports consents to potentially offensive contact. Further, inappropriate touching of the genitals in wrestling is common enough where it has a nickname, and any offensive or harmful touching was, quote, "a direct byproduct of the game." Sure, you can say all of that when we're talking about people competing in the correct category against somebody of the same sex, but when you're talking about a man competing against females, that is not the same thing. Obviously, there is a concern that inappropriate touching can occur when people of the opposite sex are competing against one another. If somebody is a predator, and that's another reason why we have categories in sports, for the protection of female athletes. Yes, there are co-ed sports, but this person was not competing in a co-ed competition. This is somebody who claims to be a woman, and the school district, the sporting bodies, some of the coaches, they went along with it and didn't even have the decency to tell Kallie that she was going to be competing against a man, didn't even seek her consent. And then this happens. So for them to talk about this as if we're talking about two women competing, even when she thought she was competing against another woman, she felt violated. She didn't think, oh, this is just something that happens in wrestling. Overwhelmingly, she felt violated, and she said that nothing like this has happened to her. So that statement acts as if this is something that happens all the time when women compete against each other. Inappropriate touching, inappropriate insertions of the fingers and, graphic occurrences like that. Clearly, that is not Kallie's experience. So I believe all of this is just buying into the delusion. I believe that's why they didn't file the criminal charges. Because they're taking this person, to be a woman. This is in the state of Washington. This is what happens when we incorporate gender identity into laws that pertain to the rights of men and women. It takes away all protection for women when we accept men as women. And therefore, there's no boundaries between the sexes. And those boundaries are supposed to be there to protect women as the ones who are more vulnerable in a situation where they are up against men, where men are allowed into their spaces, where men are allowed into their sports. Those boundaries, those lines have been blurred. And women are now being put in danger. Women are now being assaulted, physically harmed, injured, and even taken out of sports altogether. So this is a very important lawsuit, and I'm so thankful that Kallie is being supported and is able to file this lawsuit. The lawsuit also calls this state-created danger due to their policies and actions leading up to that wrestling match. And the lawsuit wants to ultimately ensure that male athletes are not allowed to compete in women's wrestling, that they are rendered ineligible. But of course, we have gender identity under state law in Washington. So that's going to be tough. But I'm glad that that's what it's seeking, because that's how it should be. This would never have happened if they had common sense policies in place. If the female category was truly female, if the women's category was truly for women only, this would never have happened. And that's exactly why it's so important that the female category be restored. So the lawsuit also asks that Keeler is given the chance to participate in sports without academic penalty or eligibility penalty and restore her lost athletic eligibility. This is what is happening to female athletes. They're being punished because they say no. So do you think this lawsuit is going to be successful? Either way, I am proud of Kallie for pursuing it, all the people supporting her. I'm glad that she has that support. And this is the only way we're going to see change. So let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Like, comment and subscribe. Take care of yourselves, and God willing, I will see you in the next video. And a huge thanks to all of those who have hyped my videos. It is greatly appreciated.